What's up? We're fishing the MoYak Taney 20, which is like a championship for the top 20 in AOI. We got 14th by skipping 2 tournaments. So that's pretty cool, right? Like I said, we're on Taney Como, which one of my favorite lakes personally. But you know, fish don't really care about what my favorite lake is. So you know, we're gonna try to catch them. I don't know. I got a rock crawler tied on. I got a jig. I got a spinnerbait. I got a chatterbait. We're going the wrong way. I got a Roman-made negotiator. You know, I would love if the glide bait bite, you know, popped off. I'd love it if the chatterbait bite popped off. Spinnerbait would be really cool too, but recently, and recent as in maybe a whole year, the only thing, you know, I have success on in tournaments is a jig. And, you know, that probably has a little bit to do with that's the only thing I throw in tournaments. But, you know, there's always a jig bite, right? And if you can stay consistent with the jig bite, you'll cut checks, which I've been doing just a little bit. But, yeah, so we got 4th 2 weeks ago on Taney Como in like a no electronics only tournament. That's not the case today. But I don't know how much electronics are really going to play into this. There was a trout. I don't know how electronics are going to play into this, just because it's a grass fishery, and there's a good chance that my bite is going to be about 3 foot of water. But as I was saying, I'd love if all of this played out, but let's go and catch some. Also forgot to tell you guys that I'm a no net McGee today. I don't know where my net is, which, you know, is a different problem in itself. But we have no net for the tournament day, and I got a couple treble hook things laying here, so we might be boat flipping a lot. Might reach down and get a handful of trebles, you know, one time, but you know, if I'm still catching them, I'll be happy. Also, while I'm on this 40-minute idle, I thought it was a really good opportunity to, you know, go into a little detail of what I'm getting them on, or what I'll be throwing today. Hopefully, you know, it'll probably change, but so got me a crocodile jig with brush hog on the back. You know, it's hard to go wrong with that. It's the Zapper jig. I'm not the biggest fan of the HD, just 'cause it's heavy duty, and I like to, you know, you don't always get the opportunity to get a giant hook set, and with a lighter wire hook you have a, you know, more likely land ratio, and I really have no problems getting it even through heavy cover. I mean, yeah, I get one in the middle of a brush pile. The only thing I'm worried about is do I have 20-pound test line or not, you know what I mean? So that jig is great. Using all Yo-Zuri T7 and top knot line. Top knot for my glide baits, T7 for all the other conventional items. What else? Oh, might throw a little jerkbait today too. You know, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I don't have too many floating jerkbaits, which is what I'd want around that grass. But you know, if they're on that steep stuff, go through there with the jig and then scope them with that Yo-Zuri 3DB jerkbait. Love that sucker. But yeah, so let's get back to it. All right, first one, got him. Throw him on the board real quick. Ooh. There's another one for Boat Flip McGee. I'm gonna guess 16 something. Number 3, wasn't pretty, but no net. I should have gotten big bass. Holy cow. I'm stupid. Oh my gosh, that thing has a head on her and she choked the jig. It's gone. Dang. Stud. Like stud. I knew there'd be one in that eddy. I knew it. Oh. It's number 4 or 5, I don't know which. Oh, you got to slow it down. Oh, you've got to slow. Don't know if you guys noticed that, but I missed him the first time.
That's a close one. $300, man, for second place. Want to talk a little bit how you caught him?
Yeah, I was just flipping a jig in the morning around the grass stuff because I wouldn't get bit as much as I thought I should. And then the bite slowed like way down at like 10 o'clock. It was like almost nothing. So I started flipping more grass, saw a ton of bass, but nothing would bite. And I went back to the steep stuff, slowed the crocodile jig way down, and then I picked up like a almost 20 incher and then an 18.
Nice job. Congratulations. We'll do pictures after we get done with all this.
Yeah, so that's the Taney 20. We ended up losing by 0.25 inches. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really salty about that one. Going into awards, I didn't really even expect to get a check, honestly. I was like, you know, I caught a couple in those last hours, you know, I'm sure somebody else caught a couple in those last hours, you know, and it's like, there's always the threat of a sandbagger. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how good you're doing, if there's like 5 people with zeros, it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, it went pretty good. It was pretty fun. As you guys saw, I started out in the morning, just like there was some current moving in the morning. They're like on that big old rock bank. There were some eddies, and you know, bass love to set up an ambush. So like that 5-pounder I caught, I'm sure you guys saw. That bro was just sitting in an eddy, and I had to cast on him like 3 or 4 times before he even got it. But yeah, it was a really fun tournament overall. After the camera cut, I ended up going to a grass flat, catching a couple that didn't help me at all. But there were a lot of fish up there. I just couldn't figure out how to catch them. I tried throwing a spook over the top of the grass, got a big old blow up, but he didn't get it. So yeah, and then I ended up going back to my steep rock bank, pitching that jig, and I was feeling hopeless. I was like, they just shut off, right? When that current shut off, they just shut off, but I knew they were there. So, you know, I backed out a little bit further, slowed down even more, I feel like I was fishing pretty slow to begin with, but slowed down even more, and then picked up a couple more. Like I picked up an 18, and then like another 16 and a half, I want to say, something like that. But yeah, it was a very good tournament. Caught them all in that Crocagator Zapper jig. I think sucker is just, it comes through the grass super well. It comes through trees super well. It's just, one of my favorite jigs. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It was nice to get the GoPro out again. I know I haven't done it in a while. Been having some recent success too. But yeah, thanks for watching.